Hello dear learners, myself Vipul Kumar D. Prajapati, Associate Professor and HOD Pharmaceutics, SSR College of Pharmacy. Welcome you all to this session 4 of Industrial Pharmacy 1 course on the topic pharmaceutical aerosols. In this session 4, we discuss about formulation and manufacturing of pharmaceutical aerosols. First, the learning outcomes. After this session 4, you will be able to understand about formulation and manufacturing of pharmaceutical aerosols, various techniques of addition of propellants into product concentrates during packaging operation in pharmaceutical aerosol manufacturing. Do you know during formulation and manufacturing of pharmaceutical aerosols, number of things are required to prepare and package pharmaceutical aerosols successfully. Special knowledge about formulation of various kinds of pharmaceutical aerosols, how to operate during filling with the help of propellants and available aerosol containers, that is canisters and valves and actuators, as well as deep tubes. So skill and whatever the available equipments as well as the conditions during filling of the prepared formulation in the aerosol containers are required. So special skill and special knowledge of handling of equipments are required. As with other pharmaceutical products, these operations must be carried out under strict supervision and special quality controls. Since part of the manufacturing operation means addition of propellant to the formulated product concentrate, means pharmaceutical aerosols, is carried out during the packaging operation, the quality control system must be modified to account for this difference. In addition to the equipment used for the compounding of liquids, suspensions, emulsions, creams and ointments, specialized equipment capable of handling and packaging materials at relatively low temperature, that is about minus 40 degree Fahrenheit, or under high pressure, must be available. This equipment is usually limited to pharmaceutical aerosols or pressurized packaging systems, and in most instances cannot be used for other pharmaceutical operations. So in pharmaceutical aerosols formulations, the systems which are available for topical application pharmaceutical aerosols are of either solutions, suspensions, emulsions, powders and semi-solid preparations, or it may be of metered dose inhalers type preparations, and these are available as solutions types or suspensions or dispersion types only. They are not available as emulsions or semi-solid. So when we discuss about formulations and manufacturing of pharmaceutical aerosols, it is in general the manufacturing of aerosol products, that is takes place in two stages. So it is divided into two stages. First stage is known as formulation stage of pharmaceutical aerosol system, means formulation of pharmaceutical product concentrate which are based on physicochemical properties of active pharmaceutical ingredient and other additives, as well as propellant or mixture of propellants. The preparations consist of a solution, an emulsion or a suspension, and are intended for local application to the skin, or to mucous membranes of various body orifices or for inhalation. Suitable excipients are utilized with these product concentrates, that are propellants, solvents, solubilizers, antioxidants, emulsifying agents, suspending agents, and lubricants for the valve to prevent clogging. The second stage is known as filling of formulated pharmaceutical aerosol, means the product concentrate into aerosol container. The aerosol container is known as canister, using suitable equipments or instruments with the skill of operating conditions during filling. So the manufacturing of pharmaceutical aerosols takes place in two stages, that is manufacture of product concentrate and addition of propellant. For this reason, part of manufacturing operation takes place during the filling operation, which is quite different from non-aerosol pharmaceutical products. Remember, part of manufacturing operation takes place during the filling operation, which is quite different from non-aerosol pharmaceutical products. This is essential. Why? Because special quality control measures during filling operation to ensure that both concentrate and propellant are brought together in the proper proportion. The aerosol concentrate is prepared according to generally accepted procedures and a sample is tested. The testing at this point can save both time as well as money, because when we prepare the pharmaceutical aerosol formulation, either it may be solution type, suspension type, dispersion type, emulsion means foam type, or semi-solid type, or it may be a dry powder solid. So at that time, after making this formulation, it is required to be tested using number of evaluation parameter. Once the propellant is added and the product is sealed into a suitable aerosol container with a specific valve, and if before this proper testing is not carried out, the complete system may be rejected due to some hazardous problem during filling and sealing. So complete rejects must be discarded, obvious a more costly solution. Hence early detection prevents the loss of the other components. This would also have made it possible to correct the rejected batch instead of discarding it. Hence, in this way, we can first prepare the product concentrate, that is pharmaceutical aerosol product concentrate. All needful quality control evaluation parameters are carried out, and then it will be followed for filling in the selected aerosol container using suitable equipment and operating conditions, as well as the valve and actuator. In this way, we can minimize the time and cost of the finished pharmaceutical aerosols product. So what are the general steps for formulation and manufacturing of pharmaceutical aerosols? The first, dispensing of raw material and excipients, preparation of the product concentrates, that is pharmaceutical aerosol formulation or systems, filling of this product concentrates or mixture into the suitable aerosol container, insertion of valve into the place of the aerosol container, then filling of propellant into the aerosol container containing the product concentrates, then sealing or crimping of valve with container, and finally the testing of sealed container by leakage test, strand test, pressure handling test, dose determination test, etc. will be followed. And lastly, capping, labeling and packaging will be carried out. So these are the general steps for formulation and manufacturing of pharmaceutical aerosols. This image itself indicates how it will be carried out. First, that is empty aerosol canisters we have to select, and at the same time we have to identify which types of valve and the actuators are useful. Next, fill the prepared pharmaceutical aerosol product, that is pharmaceutical concentrate, inside the aerosol can. Next step, that is the fit the valve on the aerosol can, and you have addition of the propellants are carried out, either single propellant or the blend of the propellants using a specific technique. Then it is followed with the fitting of actuator and cap, and finally the leak test and other tests will be carried out. So these are the general steps of formulation and manufacturing of pharmaceutical aerosols. So first stage is known as formulation and manufacturing of pharmaceutical aerosol product concentrates. Basic principle of pharmaceutical aerosol formulation depends on the solubility of active pharmaceutical ingredient in the propellant or propellant mixtures. That determines the form, means the system or the phase of pharmaceutical aerosols in which the constituents is present. Hence, four provisions are possible. The first provision is known as soluble active pharmaceutical ingredient in the propellants. The second provision is known as insoluble active pharmaceutical ingredient in propellant or mixture of propellants, but soluble in co-solvents. Normally the solvents which are used as a co-solvent known as alcohol, mostly ethyl alcohol, isopropyl alcohol, then propylene glycol, polyethylene glycol, etc. Glycerin is also used as a co-solvent. The third provision is known as insoluble API in propellants and in co-solvents, but soluble in water. And fourth provision is known as insoluble solid active pharmaceutical ingredient presented as a suspension in the propellants. So in first case, soluble active pharmaceutical ingredient in the propellant. So API is dissolved directly in the propellant or a mixture of propellant. Usually a mixture of propellant is used. Why? Because suitable proportions are adjusted to product to get desired pressure of the pharmaceutical aerosol system. So this image indicates how the soluble API in a blend of propellants mixed, and it is fixed in the aerosol container with help of valve and actuator, and when actuator is pressed down, the product is emitted as spray type aerosol. The second provision is known as insoluble API in the propellants, but is soluble in a co-solvent. If the API is soluble in a co-solvent, that is ethanol, and is insoluble in propellant, example propellant 11 and propellant 12, its proportion will be selected using ternary phase diagram in order to make the system as a stable pharmaceutical aerosol 3 liquid phase system. If the proportion of propellant 11 or 12 with respect to ethanol is going to be vary, So the coarser or wetter spray output of a product possible, dependent on the proportion of properties of propellants such as density, vapor pressure, boiling point, and solubility in presence of a co-solvent, selected co-solvent. The third provision is known as insoluble API in the propellants as well as in a co-solvent. But the API is soluble in water. So due to immiscibility of water and propellants phases, two possibilities exist. The first one is known as an aqueous solution of API is prepared. Then it is filled in the selected aerosol container. The propellant is added in a suitable proportion. Hence, two liquid phase and one vapor phase are produced. So, the system is known as three-phase systems. If the propellant phase lighter than water, what are the example of such types of propellants? Hydrocarbons, propane, butane, hexane, etc. The propellant phase will float on the aqueous phase as shown in figure 1a. Okay, because propellant phase is lighter than the water. The water contains, it is nothing, it is a solution of API, aqueous solution of API. In this, the deep tube should therefore reach the bottom of the container. If the propellant phase heavier than the aqueous phase, what are the example of such types of propellant? Hydrofluorocarbons. It will remain to the bottom of aerosol container, and deep tube must be cut short or propellant phase only will be ejected as shown in figure B. With such systems, even higher pressures will result in unsatisfactory spray patterns since the propellant is not ejected and its explosive effect at the outlet is non-existent. Hence, mechanical breakup actuators fitted with baffles are required to produce finer spray in this system. The third provision is known as insoluble API in the propellants as well as in a co-solvent, but soluble in water. So this is the second provision. An emulsion is formed, the propellant being the oily phase and the solution of active pharmaceutical ingredient in water being as the aqueous phase. It may be water in oil or oil in water depending on appropriate emulsifying agent and phase volume relationships. If the propellant in oil in water emulsion is the internal phase, its expansion on release from the valve tends to deliver the product as a foam, and a foam actuator should be fitted on aerosol container. As the propellant in water in oil emulsion system is the external phase, it can be delivered as a spray product. Generally, large quantity of propellants are required for emulsion type pharmaceutical aerosol systems, and they should be vigorously shaken before application. The next provision is known as an insoluble solid powdered active pharmaceutical ingredient. So it is suitable candidate presented as a suspension in the propellant mixture. Hence, in order to maintain physical stability of these types of pharmaceutical aerosol, that is suspension system, particle size of active pharmaceutical ingredient is required to reduce, and usually it is maintained below 5 micrometer, except for topical aerosol suspension. It may be in the range of 50 to 100 micrometer. So here particle size is very important. So before making suspension type pharmaceutical aerosols, its particle size is reduced by using number of techniques, and particle size is going to be evaluated. After evaluation, desired particle size active pharmaceutical ingredient is incorporated in the remaining ingredients with help of the vehicle or propellants. Here the active pharmaceutical ingredients moisture content is also required to check in order to minimize agglomerations of suspended particles during preparation of pharmaceutical suspension type aerosols. So agglomeration of suspended particles can be prevented by addition of suitable surfactant, or it is known as suspending agent, in suitable proportion, or lowering the moisture content of the solids less than 300 parts per million. That can be achieved by passing the propellants and the API through drying systems before filling, and reducing the size of active pharmaceutical ingredient. So these are the different ways by which we can minimize the agglomeration of suspended solids in pharmaceutical aerosol suspension and improve its physical stability. What are the different factors to be considered during formulation of pharmaceutical aerosols to deliver the product either as a spray, mist, foam or cream? The physicochemical properties of active pharmaceutical ingredient, that is size, shape, density, solubility, etc. The physicochemical properties of the selected propellant or mixture of propellant, that is density, solubility, boiling point and vapor pressure. Viscosity of the solvent or a propellant and the viscosity of the final formulation is required to identify in order to get the desired output of the product as a spray form, foam form or cream form or powdered form. Next, propellant to product concentrate ratio. Greater the proportion of propellant in the formulation, the dry finer spray is produced. Hence, it must be identified at the time of formulation of pharmaceutical aerosol. So propellant product concentrate ratio is very important. Presence of solvents or co-solvents may affect the pressure of system. Determined by ternary phase diagram, low pressure solvents evaporate more slowly and produce particles with longer lifetimes in the spray. So the presence of solvents or co-solvents and its proportion is required to check. Temperature is another factor. Characteristics of emitted product as a spray is changed due to change in vapor pressure during formulation as well as during storage condition. Most formulation of pharmaceutical aerosols and its testing is done at 21.1 degrees Celsius to maintain its stability throughout the storage and formulation conditions. So after discussion of stage 1, that is what are the different types of APIs and how it can be formulated as a pharmaceutical aerosol products. The next stage is known as filling of formulated pharmaceutical aerosols into canister, that is selected aerosol container. What are the general steps? First, aerosol cans are depalletized and placed on line for filling of aerosol formulations, that is aerosol systems. Next, pharmaceutical aerosol formulation is filled into the aerosol cans. Next, valves, selected suitable valves are inserted into the cans in a series. Then addition or filling of propellants or a mixture of propellants through the valves into the cans are followed using a suitable method. So these are the general steps of filling of formulated pharmaceutical aerosols into selected aerosol container, that is canister. This image itself indicates the general steps of filling process in manufacturing of pharmaceutical aerosols. First, filling of formulated aerosols in aerosol container. Next, insert valve into place. Then crimping valve into place, and it is followed with propellant filling. So the stage is very important, that is propellant filling inside the aerosol container containing product concentrate. So these are the general steps. So it is essential to learn the filling steps in pharmaceutical aerosol manufacturing. Now the time of reflection spot, you have to take your note and pen, pause the video, note down the answer of this question. If you know, what are the different techniques or methods of filling or addition of propellants into the aerosol canister containing the product concentrates? Think and answer it. If you have completed your answer, once again play the video and verify your answer. So what are the different techniques of filling or addition of propellants into the formulated pharmaceutical product concentrates? There are 4 techniques. First technique is known as pressure filling method. It is most frequently used method. Second technique is known as cold filling method. Third technique is known as compressed gas filling method. And fourth technique is the new one with respect to pressure filling method. It is known as rotary filling machine method. The first one is pressure filling method. What are the stages of pressure filling method? The product is charged into the aerosol can or container. The valve is fitted into the neck of the aerosol container and crimped into place. The propellant is pressure filled into the container through the valve. Then the filled container is tested for leaks by immersing it in a heated water bath for several minutes, and it is known as leak test for filled aerosol container. After this test, other tests are also followed, but the next stage is known as the container is weighed for quality control purposes and to check for overfilling. The next stage is known as the button or actuator and outer cap are added on the quality controlled filled aerosol container. Next, the containers are packed, shrink wrapped and palletized and moved for storage. So these are the various stages of pressure filling method. In this pressure filling method, it is generally carried out at room temperature. Under pressure, the formulated product concentrate is filled into the selected aerosol container through the metering pressure filling burette type apparatus, then closed with the valve and crimped. The propellants that can be filled, the selected propellants that can be filled by this method is followed as either through the opening of the valve the propellants are added, or they can be added under the cap method. So the first method, The product concentrate is added to the aerosol container at room temperature. The valve is crimped into place on the aerosol container containing the product concentrate. Then the selected propellant or a blend of propellant is then added under pressure. So first type of propellant which are having the low vapor pressure, it is followed first, and then high pressure is followed second one, through the valve stern or through the actuator and around the sealing gaskets. So this is the method 1 of pressure filling method. The next method is known as under the cap method. As shown in this figure, the product concentrate is added to the container and the valve is placed in a position. A seal is formed around the shoulder of the container, and using a vacuum, the valve cup is raised slightly from the can and propellant is added or injected into the can. The valve is then crimped into the place. This method is more prominent than cold filling method, as most of the formulations cannot be cooled to very low temperatures. So these are the two ways by which pressure filling method is carried out. The propellant is allowed to flow with its own vapor pressure in the container through aerosol valve. The flow of propellant to the aerosol container continues till the pressure of the burette or filling propellant becomes equal to the pressure within the aerosol container. The trapped air escapes out from the upper valve. Then, if further propellant is to be added, a hose, it means rubber pipe leading to a cylinder of nitrogen, is attached to the upper valve. The pressure exerted by nitrogen helps in the flow of the propellant into the aerosol container. Another pressure filling device makes use of piston arrangement and is capable of maintaining positive pressure. So another pressure filling device use of piston arrangement which is capable of maintaining positive pressure. This type of device cannot be used for filling inhalation aerosols which have metered valve. Remember this point. These types of device cannot be used for filling inhalation aerosols which have metered valves, because those regulation is required using metered valves. The aerosol containers are now capped and labeled. The product which is maintained below critical temperature or slightly below boiling point. What is the meaning of critical temperature? It is the temperature above which the liquid can no longer exist as liquid, or in easy term, the temperature above which liquid show properties which are intermediate between gas and liquid. Hence, the propellant gets liquefied in the container. Since the opening of the valve are smaller in size in this pressure filling method, the opening of the valve are smaller in size, ranging from 0.018 to 0.030 inches. It limits the production as well as the process becomes slow. But with the use of new technique that is known as rotary filling machines and newer filling heads, where the propellants are filled through valve stem, the production rate is increased. The trapped air in the container and air present in head space of the aerosol container is removed before filling the propellant inside the product concentrate containing aerosol container to protect the products from getting adversely affected. It consists of a pressure burette. The pressure filling method consists of a pressure burette type apparatus which is capable of metering small volumes of liquefied gas into the aerosol container under pressure. Now we are discussing about pressure filling method with the propellants of hydrocarbons and fluorohydrocarbon. The machinery used for aerosol filling ranges from simple laboratory pressure burette filler apparatus through semi-automatic to automatic equipment. What are the steps? The formulated pharmaceutical aerosol or product concentrate is filled into the aerosol container. Then a short burst of low pressure propellant is introduced into the container to purge the air. Then the valve and cup are immediately swagged on with a swagging machine. This exerts a downward pressure on the valve cup gasket, forming an effective seal, and at the same time expands the vertical sides of the valve cup under the can opening to form secure closure of the valve on the aerosol canister. Some commercial machines use a vacuum to purge the air at this stage. The valve orifice is connected to filling head of the machine and the valve is opened by gentle pressure. The needle valve of the filling machine is now opened and the appropriate volume of low pressure propellant is run inside it. Due to low pressure, the filling is slow. It may be speed up by previously immersing the container in ice. This is the first way. The process is speed up by previously immersing the container in ice or warming the cylinder of propellant slightly or applying pressure to the liquid from a cylinder of inert gas. So the entire process is speed up. Commercial machines push the propellant into the container via a piston pump operated by the compressed air. So in commercially the machines push the propellant into the container via a piston pump operated by the compressed air. Next stage is there. The container is then removed and connected to the filling head of the high pressure propellant which is similarly filled. So first one, low pressure propellant is filled, then high pressure propellant is carried out in the same way. The container is removed and shaken to homogenize the contents in the aerosol can. So shaking of aerosol can is important. By this laboratory burette filler, varying amounts of two propellants may be filled into each successive aerosol container. Commercial apparatus is adjusted to fill definite volume of the propellants or of a propellant mixture and will produce a repetitive series of containers filled to the same condition. So this pressure filling method is applicable as a single stage in laboratory as well as in commercial scale multi-stage pressure filling machines are utilized in serially filling of aerosol containers continuously. Transfer filling is a useful method for use during formulation experiments and is adaptable to small scale filling in a hospital dispensary. So One by one container is transferred and filling is carried out. It is adaptable to small scale filling, especially in a hospital dispensary. What are the various units used in pressure filling method? In pressure filling method that are arranged in the following order. The first is known as unscrambler, next one air cleaner, next concentrate filler, followed valve placer, then purger, valve crimper, propellant filler and water bath, then labeler, coder and packing table. So these are the different units which are arranged in this order in pressure filling line systems of propellant filling in pharmaceutical aerosol formulations. Purger, vacuum crimper and pressure filler are replaced with a single unit if filling is carried by under the tap pressure filling method. Remember, purger, vacuum crimper and pressure filler are replaced with a single unit if filling is carried out by UTC method of pressure filling. No refrigeration for chilling in this pressure filling method. Remember, no refrigeration for chilling, and valve pressure is located after concentrate filler. Valve pressure, the first line is there. Valve pressure is located after concentrate filter. Okay, concentrate filler. Okay, so this is the difference as compared to cold filling line method of filling of propellants in pharmaceutical aerosols filling. This image itself indicate how the pressure filling method is carried out by the series of canister using single head pressure devices, and second image indicates the pressure burette which is utilized at laboratory scale. This image shows pressure filling method, pressure fill button off and the single head pressure filler in single aerosol canister. The single stage pressure filling in manufacturing of pressurized metadose inhaler. This image indicate how the empty canister, no valve is there, and it is filled by addition of the product concentrate and propellant which are available in the tank under the stirring conditions, and it is regulated by the pressure pump, and the valve is added and crimped with vacuum purge, and the single stage metered pressure filling system is there to get the finished pharmaceutical pharmaceutical pressurized metered dose inhaler type product. What are the different merits of pressure filling methods? The first is the emulsions or suspensions are unstable at very low temperature, that is -40°F in case of cold filling method. So at that time the pressure filling method is the preferred method. So when pharmaceutical emulsion or foam types aerosols are there or suspension types aerosols are there, they are generally filled with the help of pressure filling method. So propellants are going to filled in with the help of pressure filling method. So it is the most preferred method than as compared to cold filling method, because it is carried out at room temperature. Most preferred because some solutions, emulsions, suspensions and other preparations cannot be chilled, because chilling is the common requirement in cold filling method. So if such types of products are there, the pressure filling method is most preferred because it is applied at room temperature. The absence of moisture, because in cold filling the chilled condition is there, that's why moisture is there. Here in pressure filling method there is the absence of moisture, so absence of moisture reduces the chance of contamination. the rate of production is high. This is another advantage of this method. And the loss of propellant is less. So these are the few advantages of pressure filling method of propellant filling in the formulated pharmaceutical aerosols in aerosol canister. What are the different demerits of pressure filling method? First, certain types of metering valves can be handled only by the cold filling process or through use of an under the cap filler and valve crimper. So that's why it is one of the disadvantage of pressure filling method. And the process is slower as compared to the cold filling method, because first low vapor pressure propellants are going to be filled and then it is followed with the high vapor pressure propellants. Now next method is cold filling method. Non-aqueous products and products which can withstand low temperatures of -40°F are used in this method. Remember, which method is used for filling of propellants in the prepared or formulated product concentrate or pharmaceutical aerosols? It depends on the type of product. Either it may be solution, suspension, emulsion, which types of or two-phase, three-phase systems of pharmaceutical aerosols, and it is also dependent on the size of the container, which types of aerosol container you have selected, or which types of valve and actuator is going to be crimped on the aerosol container. So all these things are going to be considered during the selection of filling method. So in this cold filling method, it consists of an insulated box fitted with copper tubing that is coiled. Number of coils are there, copper coils, to increase the area exposed to cooling. So copper is the best for cooling purpose. The box is fitted with dry ice or acetone prior to use. So box is filled with dry ice or acetone prior to use. The apparatus can be operated with or without metered valve. As compared to pressure filling method, these apparatus can be operated with or without metered valves. Hydrocarbon propellant cannot be filled into aerosol containers using this method or apparatus because large amount of propellant escapes out and vaporizes. This may lead to formation of an explosive mixture. Hence, fluorocarbon vapors do not form any explosive or flamed mixture, though their vapors are heavier than air. So fluorocarbons are commonly selected as a propellant during filling by using cold filling method. This image showing apparatus of cold filling method. So how the copper coil is going to be fixed as a insulated box in insulated box, and the other devices are connected in this cold filling method. How this method is followed? There are two ways. The first way of cold filling method is followed as the product concentrate is chilled to a temperature of -30 or 40°F. All of you remember, in this method, the propellants are refrigerated to a temperature. The propellants are refrigerated to a temperature at least 5° below their boiling points when they emerge from the plant as liquids. Propellant valve has a boiling point of about -30°. Hence, refrigeration should be to -35°. Okay, so the product concentrate is first chilled to a temperature of -30 or -40°F. That is first step. Then this chilled material is filled into already chilled aerosol container. So here chilling is very important. Chilled material is filled into already chilled aerosol container. Then the chilled propellant is added completely in one or two stages depending on the amount available in the aerosol container through the valve of an aerosol container. Then seal the container and test for leakage and strength of container is carried out by passing container into a heated water bath where the contents of the container are heated to 130 degree Fahrenheit, that is approximately about 54.44 degrees Celsius. After this, the containers are air dried, then moved for capping, labeling and packaging. So this is the first way of cold filling method of filling of selected propellants in the formulated pharmaceutical aerosols containing aerosol container. What is the second way of cold filling method? The first step, chill both the product concentrate and propellant in a single pressure vessel to a temperature of minus 40 degree Fahrenheit. Then this chilled mixture is filled into chilled aerosol container and a valve is crimped in place. Then the test for leakage and strength of container is carried out by same way passing the container into a heated water bath where the contents of the container are heated to 130 degree Fahrenheit. After this, the containers are air dried, moved for capping, labeling and packaging. So this is the second way in which product concentrate as well as propellants are mixed. The chilled product concentrate and propellant are mixed in a pressure vessel at a temperature of minus 40 degree Fahrenheit. Then the next steps are followed. What are the various units used in cold filling line? It is as ordered as unscrambler first, then air cleaner, concentrate filler that is capable of being chilled, then propellant filler capable of being chilled, then valve placer, valve crimper, water bath, labeler, coder and packing table. Remember, the cold filling method is no longer being used as it has been replaced by the pressure filling method. This image shows the single stage cold filling line for development of pressurized metered-dose inhaler as same as pressure filling method. So same it is followed with the help of empty canister, no valve, then the valve is going to placed, but before that the refrigeration below propellant boiling point that is carried out in one unit and the whole unit is under at specific chilled conditions. So the chilled formulation method propellant flashing occurs and it will be filled in a single line. So after filling the chilled propellant in a chilled product concentrate containing chilled aerosol container, the valve is going to be added and crimped and the finished product is collected and then air dried and it is followed for leak test and strength test and labeled. What are the different demerits of cold filling methods? First, aqueous products, emulsions and those products adversely affected by cold temperature cannot be filled by this method. Means not suitable for filling of aqueous systems since water solidifies into ice at low temperature, because this is the method which is carried out normally at minus 30 or minus 40 degree Fahrenheit. third method is compressed gas filling method. A compressed gas propellant is commonly used that can be easily handled in the laboratory. As the compressed gases are under high pressure, hence a pressure reducing valve is commonly required in this method. A pressure reducing valve is the common required in compressed gas filling method because of compressed gases are under high pressure. The apparatus consists of delivery gauze, which is a flexible hose pipe capable of withstanding about 150 pounds per square inch gauge pressure that is attached to the delivery gauze along with the filling head. So the pressure gauge is one of the important attachment of this filling method. Then a flow indicator is also present in specialized equipments between the delivery gauze and the flexible hose. A compressed gas propellant is filled into the aerosol container through pressure gauge from large container. Before filling compressed gas propellants, the material is filled inside aerosol container and assembly is fitted at its place. Air inside the container is then removed through vacuum and compressed air is filled through pressure reducing valve attached to a gas cylinder. What are the different steps utilized in compressed gas filling method? The first, the product concentrate is placed in the aerosol container. The valve is crimped in place and the air is evacuated by means of a vacuum pump. Then the filling head is inserted into the valve opening. The valve is depressed and the compressed gas is allowed to flow into the aerosol container containing product concentrate. When the pressure within the container is equal to the delivery pressure, the compressed gas stops flowing. Normally, carbon dioxide gas or nitrous oxide gas can be used for those in which solubility of the gas in the product is necessary. The unit is required to stir or shake well in order to get maximum solubility of the gas in the product concentrate. In commercial machine, the mechanical shaker is adjusted in order to solubilize the compressed gas within the product concentrate. So this image indicates the gasser shaker filling method, which is commonly used for compressed gas propellant carbon dioxide gas. The fourth technique is known as rotary filling machine method. As we know very well, with the development of newer technique, the speed of pressure filling method has been increased because in a simple pressure filling method, the product concentrate is added to the container at room temperature and the valve is crimped in place, and then the propellant is added through the valve or under the cap. Since the vacuum contains extremely small opening, that is 0.018 to 0.030 inches, this step is slow and hence limited production in simple pressure filling method. So that's why rotary filling machine method is the new addition of propellant filling in pharmaceutical aerosols packaging, and hence it contains newer filling heads which allows propellant to be added around and through the valve stem. So it ultimately increases the production rate. So what are the merits of rotary filling machines of pharmaceutical aerosols? First, pharmaceutical aqueous aerosols, suspensions, emulsions, The stability can be increased if filled by this method. Then less moisture and contamination free. High production rate and low loss of propellant. So these are the various merits associated with the rotary filling machine as a propellant filling in pharmaceutical aerosols as a package. Now what is the leak test we have to carry it out using the water bath leak testing? The purpose of this test is to check for leaks at valve above the temperature that aerosol cans would be exposed to in normal use. So in different filling methods, after filling methods, it is followed by leak checking. Okay. During manufacture, most filled aerosols are immersed in a hot water bath at 50 degrees Celsius for about 3 minutes. This is 30 degrees Celsius above normal room temperature. The increased temperature raises the pressure inside the can. Any can that leaks is detected and rejected. When the propellant is a liquefied flammable gas, any leak has the potential to be dangerous. The highest risk is during transport when several thousand cans are tightly packed on a truck. For an ideal gas, the pressure law will show how the pressure of a fixed volume of gas will change with temperature. Hence, it is the one of the best tests for checking whether the pharmaceutical aerosol pressurized pack is very well packed or not. That can be carried out by water bath leak test. This leak test tank consists of a large tank filled with water containing heating units and a magnetized chain so that the cans or packs of glass, aluminum and plastic containers are carried through and submerged into the water. The length of the tank is such that the temperatures of the product before emerges from the tank is 130 degree Fahrenheit. That is equivalent to 54.44 degrees Celsius. According to DOT regulations, each completed container filled for shipment must have been heated until contents reached a minimum of 130 degree Fahrenheit or attain the pressure it would exert at this temperature without evidence of leaking, distortion or other defects. So leak test is very important after filling the propellants inside the aerosol can containing formulated pharmaceutical aerosols. So this is the end of session 4. At this session, hope you understand all types of formulations and manufacturing of pharmaceutical aerosols, what are different filling techniques, when we select these types of techniques and how it is going to be followed, what are the merits and demerits. All these things are required to understand. Thank you. Happy learning. If you have any questions in this session 4, kindly submit it to my email ID.